The Ukrainian language is currently strengthening its positions on Ukrainian radio and television. Verkhovna Rada has passed draft law that envisages a mandatory quota on broadcasts of TV and radio companies. I believe that the Ukrainian language should cover 100% of TV and radio airtime. But according to the draft law, 75% of airtime in the Ukrainian language is shared with 25% of the languages of ethnic minorities. The Crimean Tatar language is covered by the quota for the Ukrainian language. The 75% of the Ukrainian language quota is set for all national broadcasting companies and a 50% quota for regional ones. Besides that, TV hosts must speak the Ukrainian language only. As for the guests, the TV channels invite to their studio, the language in which they speak is not regulated by the law. I stand in support of informational sovereignty. In my opinion, the more national product we produce, the more audience will have access to it. The more national TV and radio products are produced in Ukrainian, the more we are protected from external influence. I'm for the protection of the national product. The draft law requires further debate, because the mechanism of the capacity of the National Security and Defense Council of Ukraine to have influence on these quotas is not clearly defined in this legislative document.
Були такі часи в Україні, коли її було стільки, до того, як був прийнятий закон Колесніченка-Ківалова.
There was a time when the Ukrainian language was very popular in Ukraine. It was before the adoption of the Kolesnichenko-Kivalov language law, based on the monitoring of the National Council of Television and Radio Broadcasting. Many broadcasting companies have already met this quota. For example, Channel Espresso provides 100% broadcasting in the Ukrainian language, and the public broadcaster 97%.
Наприклад, суспільний мовник має 97% української мови в ефірі.
Today, the National Council of Television and Radio Broadcasting of Ukraine is the only regulatory body that monitors TV and radio airtime. It also ensures the implementation of the law on quotas. Our practice shows that monitoring for one day is sufficient. There is no need to monitor for a week, because this diverts a huge amount of resources, given the number of television channels we have in Ukraine. Indeed, there are nearly 30 national TV channels. For this reason, the inclusion of one-day monitoring in an amendment to this draft law is mandatory. In 2015, the Committee on Recovery Broadcasting in the occupied Crimea and the ETO zone was set up under the Ministry of Information Policy to implement the government's decision. This was an extremely important task for all relevant institutions. Over the last 2 years, more than 70 radio frequencies have been allocated, and new TV channels and radio stations have appeared on the airwaves. Regional channels of a public broadcaster have been restored. The Chonhur TV tower has recently been put into operation. That is to say, we are involved in coordinating the development of the telecommunications infrastructure and have started broadcasting all over Ukraine, including Crimea. According to Kostynsky, the Ukrainian state can be effective in the case of addressing language issues as the cultural basis of the nation and religious issues as the foundation of the ideological component of the nation.
We must
offer a Ukrainian product that is equivalent to a European one. The meeting of the expert board of the Ministry of Information Policy was dedicated to the issues of countering information aggression. The experts also focused on the formation of national Ukrainian content, in the national, not ethnic sense of the word, in the overall national and political context. The information security doctrine of Ukraine aims to protect and strengthen the country's media space. This document was drafted by the Ministry of Information Policy in late 2016. The best example of cooperation between experts and relevant specialized institutions. The work of the Foreign Language Broadcasting Multimedia Platform of Ukraine is a new instrument that we should discuss today and jointly provide its content. Otherwise, we will continue suffering from the destructive influence of external forces outside the territories of Ukraine. And the issue here is not only about Russia.
І не йдеться лише про Російську Федерацію.
The Ukrainian parliament has taken its first steps towards establishing language quotas on radio and TV to protect the Ukrainian and Crimean Tatar languages within the country's informational airspace, and will become a powerful stimulus for Ukrainian TV producers.